love bugs. I hope you're having as much fun in the new update as I am and having a lot of fun with your new baby animals. I have played around quite a bit with ranching so far, and I wanted to take some time to give you the tips that I have unlocked, the things that I have figured out, and give you a little walkthrough about how ranching works, because I had so many questions in my stream yesterday, literally every second, about every little piece of ranching. So let me see what answers I can give you guys today and some tips and tricks along the way that I have figured out. Typically, when I shoot a video like this, I shoot it from start to finish, and I start at the very beginning and what I want to show you guys and then take you throughout. Well, this is actually me at the end of filming this video. I have realized while filming this that really what I am doing is taking you on a tour of my day on the farm, showing you some breeding stuff and me just experimenting. This is definitely not a video that is going to give you all of the answers on how any of this works. I am still learning myself and do not have all the answers. So if you're here for a guide, this might actually not be the video for you. But if you're here for some tips and tricks, if you're here just to see my peckies and the different colors and things that I have gotten and to experiment with me on some breeding, then you're going to have fun with me today. So please come join me on the farm. Okay, now back to the regularly scheduled video. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye. In order to unlock the ranching skill, if you are a veteran player who already has your glider, then you definitely already will have it unlocked when you log into your game next. If you are a brand new player and you have not unlocked your glider yet, get to working on the main story, and eventually you will get there to get ranching unlocked. Once you have that happen, Delilah is going to show up to your plot. She's going to say, hey, what's up? Talk to you about ranching, and she is going to give you the barn bell. Very first thing that I want to mention, just in case you had missed it, is that the barn bell, while she does give it to you as a gift and not a recipe, it actually is a recipe in the game. It takes some of the hardwood plank and then iron bars. You can make more of them. So if you actually want your barn bell to be on every plot, or maybe just on a couple of your plots so that you have different spots to access your barn, you absolutely can. Once you have it in your pocket, just place it someplace on your plot, and then you are going to press whatever prompt you get on there to travel to your barn. Here you will be brought to this beautiful ranch. So some of us suspected that we were going to get an actual barn to place on our plots. That is not the case. This is the ranch that you are gifted by Delilah to start having baby animals and raising your own animals, and even just taking care of animals in general. And y'all, this area is huge. This is the map. Like, I just want to point out, this is the entrance. This is the main barn and the main area. But there's additional stuff all over. So there's another big pen over here, another pen over here, and then this over here is the nursery for breeding your animals. So if you ever get like lost on the map, this will kind of help you figure out where you are and get you back to where you're trying to get. After you're brought here for the first time, Delilah's going to gift you a couple of peckies. Then you're going to learn about breeding from Nio. Watch out for that dialogue. And then you're kind of left on your own to figure out what it is that you want to do. Let's talk a little bit about some of the things on this map that you have access to and that you can use. So very, very first off, you have storage here in multiple spots around the plot. So no, you do not have to bring items with you from your house. You can access your full storage here. You also have something really important, which this is an inventory of your animals that are currently existing on this plot. Now, this is extra helpful for a couple of reasons. So let me show you some things that you may have missed on it. Not only does it have the obvious thing that's here, which is it's going to list all of your animals and give you the option to donate them, which this is the only place that you can donate them, because you can only have 10 in the very beginning. So if you want to get rid of one that maybe doesn't have skills or traits or colors or things that you want, you can get rid of them, right? You can get rid of them by donating them and then getting cookies. It also gives some other good information. So first off, it's going to tell you right here its current status effects. So it's going to tell you how much if it's going to gain happiness from petting or anything like that, if you have actually pet it today, or what status effects are just on it in general. I'm going to actually show you, we're going to undo a status effect on one of my peckies today, and that is Glenda. Glenda, I gave her a cookie last night to help her age up to a young adult so that I could start breeding her with Eddie Brock. I'm sorry, I have to. Now she still has accelerated aging, meaning that she is aging much faster. I don't want her to continue have accelerating aging. So I'm going to feed her a cookie that's going to take away that accelerated aging. So I'm going to show you that here in a second. The other thing I wanted to show you on this your animal roster, what I think is the most important thing that a lot of people don't realize. Sometimes your animals might get a little lost along the way. They might end up in a different pen. They might end up like wandering around, and sometimes you just can't find them. You're like, where the heck did Glenda go? If you hit this heart right here, it's going to allow you to spot them on your HUD. So this one right here has some sort of status effect going on, which I actually don't know what it means. So we're going to figure it out together. But this is the heart that I just did. So I know that that's where Glenda is. I'm going to go into my chest and I'm going to go looking for a cookie. Now your cookies are all in here, in with your regular food. Unfortunately, all of your cookies are not called cookies. Some are called snacks, some are called biscuits, and some are called cookies. I really think that the team, this is my first suggestion to the team, should make all of the cookies, give them their own category, or maybe give us a farming category or something like that. Or ranching category, because finding your cookies and searching for them is a little bit tougher if you do not know the name of the cookie. However, I do know the name of the cookie right now, so we're just going to go ahead and search for it. We're looking for a plain cookie, which is this little guy right here. And luckily, this is a common cookie that you can use. So I am going to use a plain cookie. I'm going to take this cookie, follow my HUD all the way over to Glenda. Hey girl, what's up? And she's shiny. Isn't she so cute? And we're going to talk about that in a second and what that means. And I'm going to go ahead and feed her a plain cookie. Now, if you notice, that didn't increase her food. It just got rid of her status effect, which you can see right here under her status effect. She is no longer having accelerated aging. She's just a bean. And then, oh, I wanted to point out too, if I wanted to, from here, I could be like, okay, I did what I needed to do for her. I found her easily, and I could get rid of that heart. So now she's not going to be showing up on my HUD anymore and distracting me. The next thing we're going to talk about is this register over here. Typically, guild stores are attached to an actual character, but in this case, the ranching store is here right on your ranch, which I think is super convenient. Thank you for not making me have to run and find Delayla every single time I want to get a cookie. There are some cookies here that are available, kind of like a typical ranching store, for you to purchase for just a little bit of gold. I think a couple of the most important ones are the plain cookie that I just used, which will clear any active trait effects on your animal. So like if you are using a fast grow cookie like this one is, then you can feed that plain cookie to stop the that spread. This one is also very important as far as breeding is considered, and you're going to see me use this today. This is a fancy breed biscuit. This allows your animal to pass up to 3 traits to its offspring when breeding. And I want to actually test this today. So we're going to do that in this video because, again, like I told you guys, I'm kind of learning still how all of this works and just passing on whatever knowledge I figured out to all of you. And then on the opposite side of that, we have the bad breed biscuit, meaning that if you have a Pecky that has maybe some traits that you don't want to pass along, but you want to breed with it to see what's going to come out, you could always give it the bad breed biscuit, give the other Pecky that you're using the fancy breed biscuit, and hopefully the baby would mostly get the traits of this Pecky. And then a big question I had yesterday was, oh no, I named my Pecky something that I didn't want to name it. I want to change its name. This cookie allows you to an animal to be renamed once. So if you can't come up with that cool idea for a name, or maybe you decide to change a theme or something, you can use Name Well cookies to change the names of your Peckies. Now, these things were all unlocked at, I believe, level 2. I think it was level 2 because I got my Pecky, I think, at level 2 maybe. Well, forgive me. The reason this says, if I'm wrong about that, but requirements are not met for my Pecky right now. That's only because my barn is full. I have 10 Peckies currently, and I'm only unlocked 10 different spots for animals so far. Once you reach level 4, you will unlock the trufflet, and you will be allowed to start raising trufflets as well. I believe it is level 5, however, that you will start unlocking additional barns could be to get up to your 30 animals. I think it's level 5, you get 10 more, and at level 10, you get 10 more for a total of 30. You also will start along the way as this is for reaching level 6. So this one is level 4, then level 5 for the bigger barn. Then level 6 is going to unlock these different cookies that you can also purchase for gold. Now, I think that ranching is a little bit of a slow grow skill. It's going to take us a little bit to get to level 10 because you can't get a ton of points every single day. But that once we're all there, I think we're going to feel like we have a lot more freedom than we do right now. I think it just starts a little slow. So if you're feeling like all I want to do all day, Ravi, is breed and take care of my animals, I think you're going to be closer to having that option once you get a little bit higher level in the ranching skill. So anyway, this is the oopsie cookie. You can remove a single trait, but it is random from this one. So if the animal has a bunch of really good traits, you might not want to use that. Never grow cookie, which will keep them in the baby animal stage for forever. So if you had a baby animal that you wanted to just keep as a baby, and I'll explain why you might want to do that here in a little bit when we talk about traits, that would also be, this is how you would do that. And then, or maybe you just want a baby that's really cute to like walk around with you all the time, and you just want it in its baby form. That's also possible. Predictable cookie blocks your animal from randomly gaining any new traits. So your animals can, as they level up, gain new traits. They don't always, but they can. And this would be able to keep that from happening if you're happy with the traits that your animal currently has. And then Me First ensures that an animal's traits have priority for inheritance when breeding. So essentially meaning that if you are breeding 2 animals and you want to make sure that the traits from one definitely end up on another one, this is the one you're going to want to use. At level 7, you will get your Ormu. And then at level 9, you will get your Bumble. And finally, at level 10, we will start actually earning guild coins and have our weekly accomplishments to do for ranching and get these other cookies. The roulette cookie is one of the best one. Feed it to the animal to grant it a single random trait. This is a random functional trait, and this is just a random trait in general. The cookie of the day is a random cosmetic trait. I think this is probably going to be one of the biggest ones that a lot of us play with to try and get all the cosmetic traits that we want on our favorite statted animals. The tasty trait adds a random functional trait to your animal that scales with the number of cosmetic traits it has. So where it would be good to use a tasty trait treat is for one of your animals that has all 3 cosmetic traits on it. It can have up to 3 at a time, and I'll explain that here in a minute. You would want to give that to this one because it's going to give you a random functional trait that scales with the number of cosmetic traits, meaning that it's going to probably be, I believe how I'm interpreting this is that it'll be at least a level 3 trait. Faster grow cookie is going to, what you saw what I was doing with my other peckies to get them up to adult to be able to breed them. This is going to increase the rate at which your animal ages, which to get it from baby to young adult when it is the most useful to you as a farmer. This is the fancier breed. This is a better version of that other cookie we were looking at, which allows your animal to pass up to 4 traits to its offspring when breeding, which is crazy. I am curious to see how many traits they can get because it seems like a lot. And then for worst breed, significantly reduces. And then a reroll cookie. This randomizes the tier of each of your animal's traits. So you could become a genius or you could forget to tie your shoes. Either way, this cookie tastes delicious. This is a very cool one. This would be particularly nice for maybe a Pecky that has a bunch of really good skills, but they're all either base level or level 2 or level 3, and you want to shoot for some level 5s or some legendary levels. That would be very cool. So that is the ranching store here and how those levels are going to unlock. So how do you level up your skill? This is your ranching skill right here, which you can see is Delilah. I don't have any coins yet because I haven't reached level 10 to be able to start doing that yet. I have noticed that in ranching, I specifically level up for taking care of my animals, feeding them and petting them. So let's go ahead and go back here really quick and look and see how everybody's doing. Let's look at our 2 that are literally just here. So Eddie Brock has been recently pet and doesn't need to get pet. He could eat some food and could be a little bit happier. And then the same thing I think can be said for Glenda. Glenda still has another 43 minutes of being pet that she doesn't need her pets for the day. But she's only a little bit hungry. Let's find somebody who needs to get pet. How about you, Barkerly Marsh? You don't need to be pet. Oh, you know who I think is Mary Peckins. Mary Peckins is a little bit hungry. And also is ready to be pet for the day. So we're going to go ahead and give her a mark and go find her over in the pen. And while we're over here, we're going to find out what that little symbol means. I am guessing that it is the trait symbol and that it is going to give us a new trait. So I'm really excited to see what that's going to, what that means. I'm really excited to see, but let's do this first. So here is Mary Peckins. Mary Peckins is just a little baby. She doesn't have anything going on for her right now. I want to look at a couple of things first. So the first thing I want you to look at is kind of where my skill is right here. It's kind of directly under the S, I guess is the best way to put it. Kind of like right under the S, where that level is. We are going to give her a pet and we're going to see how many points it gives me. I got plus 20 to my skill. My skirt is blocking her. Sorry about that. She's like under my skirt. That's funny. Now, something that I have noticed about feeding them different foods are going to make them happier. So today I went ahead and grabbed some starred celebration cake. These are epic foods. It is starred. From other food, I've been seeing maybe like 14 or 6 points or 7 points, but not very many points at all. I'm curious what happens if I give Mary Peckins here a starred celebration cake. How excited is she going to be? I only got 2. Well, to me, that is going to answer my question. Let me explain. Mary Peckins was not particularly hungry. She only needed a little bit of space. So even though I gave her a really hearty piece of food that would have leveled her up and made her happy, which I think it did, she only gave me 2 points towards my level. So that tells me that feeding them will only give me however many points that they have of hunger. So essentially, there's probably a correlation. Maybe like for every 10, you get a point, or for every 5, you get a point, or something like that. And I have a feeling that that is how it is directly related to your leveling up. So now if we look here, see, I've only gone up just a tiny little bit from that. So leveling this skill is going to take time for sure. The best way, if you really want to be leveling up quickly, is going to be to use your cookies. It's going to be buying peckies, gambling them, and excuse you, rude. Getting rid of the ones that you don't want and that have traits that you don't want, and making sure that you're breeding as much as you can. I think that we're all kind of having a very slow start to our leveling right now. So everyone feels like everything's just going to take forever. I don't think it's going to be that way once we get going and once we have more cookies unlocked and the ability to purchase more cookies. I think we're going to be able to play this much more how we want and have a lot more freedom. But anyway, let's find out what Barkerly Marsh has to say. It kind of looks like a little DNA strand there. It kind of looks like the symbol. So I'm wondering if Barkerly is going to be getting a new trait. So let's see what this means. Okay, nothing. Nothing happened. She doesn't need to be pet. I could feed her a cake, but let's see how many points we get from feeding her a cake. Also 2 points, which would kind of lead to my maybe a point for every 5 points of the food. Oh, you know what? Actually, no, did she have this already? Y'all, I can't remember. See, I told you, I'm still trying to figure this all out too. Huh, well, she doesn't have that status effect anymore, which to me leads that it had to do with something. So there's something that they explained to us, which was that they wouldn't level up your animals or give them new status effects without you going up and selecting it. So I'm wondering if she did get a new item, if youthful energy was new, moderately slower through adulthood if there are animals younger than it in the barn. I think this is new. I think that I'm going to say that was a new trait and that this is the new trait that she got. And I just don't remember. I just don't remember her having it or not having it. So very, very cute. But going around and getting your daily pets in is obviously going to help you out there. So I think maybe Yoker needed to be pet. Yep. So let's give you a little pet. Hello. You're not really hungry enough yet for the celebration cake, but don't worry. I will be back. And then an additional 20 points. As you can see, it went up a little bit further. We're getting past the S, but it's going to take some time. It really is going to take some time. All right, but now I have to go and be ruthless, because if you haven't learned so far, once you have 10 different characters, 10 different animals in your pen, if you only have the ability to have 10, if you decide, oh, you need to be pet too, Jack. There you go. I'm petting you from inside this hay. If you want to breed them, you are going to have to get rid of some. It is a little bit of a cutthroat world out here if you want to be leveling up and if you want to get the peckies that you want. So I need to make a decision about someone to say goodbye to. Now, Cher Henneritz has Sunny Feathers and Night Owl 3. Gains much more happiness at night. But that is my Sunny Feather Pecky. But if you notice, Elle Woods over here also has Sunny Feathers. So for trying to get the Sunny Feathers, for trying to have the Sunny Feathers like yellow color on them. The healthy eater can eat moderately more food, which now that we know that eating more food is going to level us up faster. Let's see. I didn't know she didn't need a pet. Hold on. That means she's going to allow me to get more points every day by feeding her more, which is nice. So I don't want to get rid of her. And she gains significantly more focus from common foods. So let me go and grab her just a common food. So I'm going to go over here and go to my cooking and find something that is just regular old common. I don't even know what's just common. Oh, a century egg? Sure, why not? Little weird feeding an egg to a chicken, but you know what? We're going to go for it. I guess they kind of eat them themselves, don't they? Alrighty, boo. So we're going to go ahead and see how much we get for this century egg. Again, only 2 points. All right. Well, y'all, I don't know then. It is definitely how you level though. But anyway, if I have to choose between these two, it looks like Cher is going to get the boot. So now I'm going to go back over here because I want to keep the stats and everything that are available with Ale Woods, but I don't really care about the ones from Cher. So even though she has the yellow feathers, I still have one with yellow feathers that I could breed better into another one. So because I have Ale with better stats, we are going to go ahead and get rid of Cher. Now Cher is still just considered kind of common, it looks like, but it says that she's 9% away from reading the next common rarity. If any of you figure out what the heck that means, please explain it in the comments, because I haven't figured this out at all. Because if you look at the different levels of rarity, it really does not explain it. Like you would think of this one, like this one is considered common. Jack is, I guess, not even at common yet. Ken Wilder is common, but what decides that? Because Eddie Brock has tons of traits, is one of my oldest ones, is one that I bred, and is still just considered common. So I just don't know how this all particularly works. But anyway, we are going to go ahead and donate Cher. I'm not going to give her any cookies to level her up because she's just not worth that much anyway. So she's not going to give me many cookies regardless. I don't think even if I gave her like a value cookie, I'm going to wait and hold on to those rare cookies to give to my like high end, my higher end chickens. So I'm going to go ahead and donate her. Yes, I am sure I'd like to do it. Oh, and I did get an uncommon treat pack. So for donating her, I now have an extra spot for breeding. And I got some cookie packs. Let's go ahead and open it. I got a Me First cookie, which is a helpful with breeding. And then I also got the slightly increases the donation of your animal. So good to have. But now what I want to do is some breeding. So we're going to find some cookies that increase traits. This one is the fanciest breed biscuit, which allows your animal to pass up to 5 traits to its offspring when breeding, but mine don't have 5. So mine only have 3 or 4. I'm going to grab this one for 3 traits. And then we're going to look and see if I can find, I think I have another one too. Or I guess I'll just buy one if I have to, but I thought I had some. I didn't have one, but that's okay because we're just going to buy one. So we'll grab another fancy breed biscuit for 500 gold. And now I'm going to feed one to each of them to see how many I can get. So Eddie Brock right here doesn't have any other status effects right now. So I'm going to be able to feed him one of these biscuits. So he will pass stuff down to his offspring. And again, if you notice, his food didn't actually go up. Think of biscuits as having and cookies as having no nutritional value to your pet. They just do status effects. Glenda, I'm also going to feed you a fancy breed biscuit, hoping to pass at least three traits down to the offspring. So now it's time to say hello to this baby. Are you all excited? I am so excited to breed right now. I can't even explain to you. I'm really just taking you on a trip of the day of my farm, but I'm hoping that I'm giving you information to help you learn more about how this all works. So now that I know I have only 9 birds, so I can breed a new one to introduce it into the nursery. I have my pets are happy, and I gave them biscuits to make sure that they are going to pass down some good traits. I am going to come here to breed. We are going to breed Eddie Brock with a good breed biscuit and Glenda with a good breed biscuit. So hopefully all 3 of these traits are going to be passed down, as well as 3 from this one. Obviously I'm hoping for hearts, and I'm hoping for shiny. And then for this one, I'd rather have wise and pampered. Grazer means their focus decays somewhat slower, which is nice, except that if their focus isn't decaying, then you can't get more leveling with them. So right now I don't really want Grazer 2. So I'm hoping that I get these. I mean, Pampered 5 is so good. Produces items a great deal faster while at maximum happiness is really good. And then as far as she's considered, I really just want the shiny, but I'm also fine with all of these things. I'm totally fine with a spoiled Pecky, because it just means I have to feed them epic food, which isn't hard for me. I can make celebration cakes. It's no big deal. All right, so we're going to go ahead and breed them and see what happens. We got hearts, we got pampered, and we got spoiled. Wait, what? Is that it? Even with my cookie? Can a baby only have 3 traits? So did I essentially like waste the cookies then? See, we're learning in real time, y'all. No, they can't. I had a baby. No, because I had Eddie Brock with 4 traits. Hi. What's up? You're very cute. I like your hearts. But it didn't really work. I'm going to go name you because I'm going to have to talk to the team about that, because I fed them each a cookie. Let's go reread those cookies and make sure that I'm not crazy. Don't be like me and let them just jump off the table. Go find and it's in the ground, and make sure that you give it a pet and get yourself some points, as well as give it some food. I got 12 points that time for getting food for it. And we're going to go take a closer look at that cookie and what it says. I don't have any now, so I'll have to go check the register, but that's okay, because now I'm confused. I was kind of thinking, like, really, is it going to guarantee 3? Or maybe it will only work. I don't know. Fancy breed biscuit. Developed by farmers who breed special variants of show pecky, including the baffling yet amusing double-jointed curly-bearded rainbow pecky. Allows your animal to pass on, up to 3 traits. Okay, so it just gives a possibility that it will pass on up to 3 traits, not will all 3 traits. Well, I'm sorry for reading that incorrectly to you all. See how we're learning in real time together. Okay, so it still was nice because even though I didn't get the traits that I wanted necessarily, I did get 3 traits instead of only the 2 that I would have gotten from breeding otherwise. All right, interesting. So now there are also cookies if you wanted to. All right, let's talk. Stay on breeding so I don't get distracted again. This video is going to be all over the place, and I'm so sorry, you guys, but I hope that it's giving you some information that you need. So now if you go and you look at Eddie Brock and you look at Glenda, you're going to notice that they have a new status effect, which is called Dispassionate. And it's going to go for like 18 hours. They need extra time to recover from breeding. Now, there are cookies to make them be able to breed again, but they are incredibly, incredibly rare. So if I wanted to be able to breed them again, that's going to be a tough one to get. Just like there is a grow up cookie. Is it this one? That's the Never Grow. I might not have one. Fast Grow cookie, which slightly increases the rate at which your animal ages. There are a couple of different things. There's even a cookie that will instantly grow up your pet, so that you could start breeding with it right away. But as of right now, Eddie and Glenda are not going to breed, and none of my babies have grown up yet. Now, I would love to be able to show you on this chart how long it is until they are going to be grown up, but unfortunately, that doesn't exist, and I think it's something that we desperately need. This is my next suggestion for the team. I think knowing when your animals are going to age up and how close they're getting, especially in the baby stage to adulthood, is really confusing. And I truly do not know when it happens, how fast it happens, how fast the cookies work to speed it up. And I really wish that they would give us like a bar that would be more clear about how all of that works. Alrighty, while we're over here, we're going to talk quickly about traits because I know there has been some confusion specifically around traits. There are a few different kinds of traits in the game. Obviously, I haven't run into all of them yet, but let's first talk about our cosmetic traits. There are 3 different styles of cosmetic traits. Your animal can get some sort of sheen, can get some sort of color, and can have some sort of print. They can never have more than one of each of those things, but they can have all 3. So for example, I could breed Glenda, who is shiny, with Barkerly, who has lava cake feathers, which make her red, and end up with a shiny red Pecky. But I could not breed Barkerly, who has red feathers, with Ailey, who has yellow feathers, and get red and yellow feathers. Colors and styles of colors, which doesn't necessarily mean just red and yellow. So lava cake feathers are specifically feathers in shades of brown and red. You can get some that are like black and yellow speckled and stuff, but you'll notice that they have one name and one trait, and that's just the style of feathers that they have. But I could make Barkerly red with stripes, let's say, and shiny if I wanted to. So you can have up to one in each category, but all 3. Now, as far as traits are concerned, I don't know how many traits that you can have, but there are lots of different ones. The most I have on anyone is 4. Some of them affect their aging. Some affect how they get happiness. Some affect how you feed them. Some are actually affected by other animals that are in their barn. So this one right here is a social 5. Gains a great deal of more happiness when there are at least 3 other animals of the same species. And with well-loved, gains moderately more happiness from care, which decays moderately slowly, meaning their happiness level will stay up higher and it doesn't decay as quickly. And happiness is a little bit harder to hit because you have to feed them cookies to keep them extra happy. While petting will keep them moderately happy, it seems, you really need to use like happiness cookies to get them all the way up to that 100%, where they're going to be producing the best that they can once they're adults. So yeah, lots and lots of traits. But as far as how many traits you can have, I honestly don't know. The cosmetic ones are very clear. The other traits are a little bit less clear. Traits also come in different levels, which affect their effectiveness. So here you can see this is a cosmetic trait, but we have healthy eater 2 and then simple palate 4. That relates to how much that trait is going to affect it. So simple palate means that they gain more focus from common foods, but at 4, it's going to gain significantly more focus from common foods. And traits go all the way up to a legendary status, to like legendary rarity and status. There's even apparently some incredibly rare traits in the game that affect the color of your Pecky, like something about one of its colors, as well as giving it a trait. And that's like a super, super, super rare one. So your goal is going to be to get the best combinations of traits that you can, and then breed those traits to create the Peckies of your dreams. The last little space that I want to talk about is this little farm guide given to you by the Dayas. While it does break everything down in a really easy way to just kind of explain everything that I just talked about, it is very basic and just kind of gives you a very basic rundown of how to take care of animals, about how treats work, to not eat them because they don't work for us, a little bit about the packs of treats, but it doesn't really give you too much information that is really what a lot of us are looking for. One thing I just want to point out quickly is this: don't be afraid to experiment. Even animals with less impressive traits might create something extraordinary when paired up. If you have the opportunity to breed a couple of adults, I highly recommend that you take it. I mean, obviously, because the cooldown is so massive, make sure that you're doing pairs that you do actually want to see together. But if you're about to go to bed and you're not going to get to play till later tomorrow and there's space in your barn, go ahead and breed. You never know what you're going to get. I also really don't want to downplay just how good gambling to get a new Pecky is, because last night, right before I ended stream, I actually just got rid of a couple of Peckies and bought a new one and got Hen Wilder, who has 4 different traits already just as a baby, with one of them being level 4 and 2 being level 5. Like, that's craziness. I also want to point out that even though Ha is technically new in town, Ha does not have the new in town status effect. So if I decided right now, which I'm going to do, don't hate me for this for my new baby, but I didn't get the traits that I wanted from Ha. Now I could feed Ha a bunch of cookies and try to make that work, but the truth is I was trying to pass along the cosmetic traits to then start getting the other traits in, and this is not the combination of traits that I was hoping for. So I'm going to take a gamble instead and also get myself more levels in farming to hopefully unlock more cookies more quickly. So right now I'm going to go ahead and donate, Ha. I'm going to get my free cookies and see what I get. I got a couple of cookie packs here, looking like just a plain cookie. And then this is one of the Pal snacks, which increases how quickly your animal production bar fulfills, which it takes forever, by the way. And then here we go. I got another one for slightly increases the donation value, so I could have used that on Ha if I wanted. And now I'm going to gamble another Pecky and hope to get possibly a new trait that I didn't have before that I want to breed into my other Peckies, or get a new cosmetic trait that I haven't had yet. Let's see if we get lucky. Looks kind of like a basic Pecky to me. Oh, we did get a couple of things though. All right, now I have to come up with a name. This is going to be Simbok. So Simbok has ornery too, likes being pet somewhat less often, but enjoys them somewhat more. Interesting. Gains moderately more happiness from feeding, but slightly decreases the focus gained by other animals when they're fed. Oh, interesting. And then produces items a great deal faster when there are baby animals in the nursery. Now, maternal 5, I already have with Mary Peckins, but now I have maternal 5 with Simbok, as well as 2 other traits. So then I have to decide, do I want to get rid of Mary Balkans or do I want to keep her? And the answer is probably going to be keep her because she's about to level up so that I could get her maternal 5 trait put into another Pecky and start again helping with that breeding line. However, I can't get rid of Simbok just yet because Simbok is new in town. So I'm going to have to wait an hour and 15 minutes, and this is real time, in order to be able to get rid of him and to keep doing additional breeding. Or I'm sorry, not breeding, but to gamble any more Peckies unless I want to get rid of other ones. Man, the skirt really gets in the way for this. This was not the choice. This was not the choice. So I'm going to go ahead and soothe. I'm also going to go ahead and feed him a cookie, get myself my points. That gave me a good 12 points. And now, even though I just did most of my stuff for the day, you can see I barely added onto my level 3. I mean, it's a nice little chunk, but it's going to take a long time to level up for everything. Make sure that you're keeping everybody fed. Make sure that you're petting them when they need to be pet. But you do not have to pet them very often at all. You also do not need to feed them starred celebration cakes unless they just have a status that makes you want to. Also, I would argue keep an eye on some of the perks that they say are not particularly like popular or are negative traits. Some of them could actually be positive traits if they are affecting certain things about the game. So if there is a negative trait that actually helps, like makes them go hungry faster, but you're trying to level yourself up in ranching really quickly and you actually want them to get hungrier faster so you can feed them more and get more points. Well, it might be good for you to keep that particular negative trait around so that you can feed your animals more often and therefore level up more quickly. How are you doing? Hey, you're overstimulated and you just need a little pet. I got it. There you go. Here, you can have a celebration cake too. It's truly unnecessary and kind of a waste of a cake, but enjoy, you little cutie pie. Now, while I was looking in here, I did see that I do actually have more of the go first cookies than I thought that I'd the go next cookies so that I could breed those 2 again. And y'all, I think I'm going to do it. I want to see what we can maybe pass on to them again. I think I'm going to give them these cookies to get rid of the status. It means I'm going to have to delete another Pecky, but that's okay. Hey, bud, what's up? I know I'm asking a lot of you today, but I really want to experiment. So now that I gave Eddie Brock that cookie, he no longer doesn't want to breed. He's going to be down for it again. I'm going to go ahead and feed to Glahenda. I might actually use one of my fancy cookies too. Oh, wait, was it only like level 4? Allows your animal to pass up to 5 traits. You know what? I'm going to give it. Eddie Brock has 4. That's close enough. And then I'll go ahead and buy the fancy breed one for Galinda. Eddie, bear with me here. I want you to give so many traits forward. You have so many good ones to this baby. And Glenda, I just really want you to make them shiny. Not gonna lie. Make it shiny. Now I have to figure out who else I'm gonna get rid of. Ah! Who's it gonna be? All right, so Jack Peckington only has stripes, but is my only baby with stripes. Obviously Glinda I'm keeping. I want to keep the Sunnyflowers. Barkerly is my favorite, so I definitely don't want to get rid of her. I don't want to get rid of Hen Wilder because Hen Wilder has that well-loved 4 as well in there. So definitely want to keep them for breeding. I would get rid of Simbok if I could, but I can't. Yoker has Pampered 5 and Hearts. But that is what Eddie has, right? Yeah. So it's looking like it's going to have to be Yoker. Alrighty, Yoker. Bye. Ooh, got some more treats. And again, this is kind of how that cycle continues. As you get rid of them, now you'll get higher and better treats. Oh, I got some good ones that time. I got a roulette cookie. That's nice. So I can feed that to grant them a random trait and a random functioning trait. Those are good ones that I could always add on to some of the other ones, especially once I get the cosmetic things that I want on them. But now we are going to go and breed again. Thank you for coming on this journey with me today, you guys. I really appreciate it. It's just a lot of experimenting. I hope you're learning some stuff and seeing some things that are different here. We're gonna hope for our best right now. Glenda, good breed biscuit, best breed biscuit. Let's see if we can get hearts and shiny on the same baby. That's really what I'm looking for. And then we can play with the other traits and other cookies, but we want to make that cute little Pecky to take around with me. Do it. Night owl, shiny, pampered 5 and hearts. Yes. All right. We ended up with 4 traits from our parents this time. Oh, this is gonna be a good baby. Look at them. Oh my goodness. Say hello to Bach March. Like Beth March from Little Women. I'm naming all of my Peckies after movie characters. And I mean, I feel like Beth just had the biggest heart and shining soul. If you know, you know. And let's give her something to eat. I might actually give, let's increase the happiness a little bit from the food that we're going to give, which I'm just going to give some bouillabaisse. Oh, we got 100% on food there, as well as 67% up to happiness. And then we give some pets for some extra levels. And she's beautiful. I love her. Well, love bugs, that's what I have for you today. This is my first kind of look into my groups of Peckies and how I've been leveling up. Hopefully you'll all be able to find some good tricks and tips throughout this video that will help you build your Pecky army until you're ready to enter you into your next animals. And I love you so much. Make sure you finish those bulletin boards so that you can get more cookies to spend and use for your little animals. And I'll see you at the farm very, very soon. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.